Haason Reddick is in the weirdest situation that I have ever seen right now, as he's apparently sending goons to business partners and not paying them up after CAA dropped him, which now makes more sense why they may have done that amidst all the other stupid things that Haason Reddick has done over the last few months. And we're going to break it down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into the video as always. Because Haason Reddick, he's been doing some interesting things recently that just seem to make a good amount of no sense, like not subscribing to Jets Digest when he watches, which you guys should absolutely do. But also, I mean, Haason Reddick, recently, Matt, some news came out, and we're just going to jump in and look at it because it's insane. According to the New York Post, disgruntled Jets linebacker Haason Reddick, who loses $800,000 for every game of his contract holdout, stifled a business partner out of $1.6 million and allegedly sent goons to intimidate him. And as mentioned, Reddick bought Haven Home Health Agency in 2018, but leaned on his dad, Raymond Matthews, and Matthews' ex-wife, Tia Wright, to run the business, and by 2021 it was failing. Micah Khan mentioned this in the lawsuit. He's the one suing them for not being paid $1.5 million, and mentioned that Wright and Matthews had no experience operating a home health agency, and as a result, the business was operating at a loss with zero patients, Khan said in court papers. Now, Reddick and his family approached Khan knowing he had experience in the home health industry and requested that he take a lead role in the marketing and business development for Haven, said legal papers, and that is what led to this situation where while Reddick devoted little to no time building Haven and instead was pursuing a prosperous career in the NFL, Khan made Haven a successful company with was his primary goal, working full-time on Haven's behalf. Now, it's also mentioned that it was a very successful company after Khan took over with a fully trained staff and a large revenue stream. After 3 years, Kingdom's efforts paid off when Haven agreed to sell the company in April to M&H PA Home Care Acquisitions for $3.25 million, the court docs mentioned. But when Khan asked for his share of the proceeds during a post-sale confab, he was allegedly physically threatened by Matthews, Haason Reddick's dad, at the behest of Haason Reddick, as the suit mentions. Mr. Matthews brought more than a dozen black-gloved men to a business meeting, claiming they were Haason's personal security, and it was this post-sale meeting that Mr. Matthews made it clear they intended to breach their payment obligations to Kingdom. I mean, what? What?
Yeah, so it definitely looks like Haason Reddick not showing up to the Jets isn't the only bad decision that he's making in his personal life right now, as he comes to these people and lies and tells them that he has experience in their industry, and then he gives the company to his dad and someone that his dad knows to run the whole company for him. And then after everything happens, after they run it into the ground and someone else comes in and makes the company successful, he still thinks that he's going to be owed some money, and he's trying to basically make off with an additional $1.6 million. I am a little bit worried for this man's mental health now, Chris, because we've talked about it for so long, how Haason Reddick, the holdout doesn't make sense financially. And the point we've been making was that it just doesn't make sense. So is it possible that, like, I don't know if I'm being too harsh. Is it possible that maybe he has some sort of, like, you take a lot of hits in football, maybe there's something going on upstairs that people don't know about yet with Haason Reddick?
I would say that Haason Reddick might be a few fries short of a Happy Meal after seeing all this stuff, because the man, is he insane? Like, okay, I understand holding out. I understand holding out is something that NFL players do. I understand that sometimes they're correct in doing so, like Le'Veon Bell, who got the money that he wanted to get by the Jets. But Haason Reddick, we've talked about this a million times. There seems like there's no correct end game for him, because it's just very hard to imagine this works out. You really, when you're tackling people as someone who's a sack master, like Haason Reddick himself, and I did just want to say the words sack master, you are hitting with your shoulder. There's a lot of times your head is going to smash into another human being around their hip or into the turf. Your head's going to get rocked around a bit. I think Haason Reddick's just completely off the reservation at this point because this man doesn't understand how earning money works. He thinks he's just owed everything, like he's the main character in some weird movie that nobody likes. I'm really confused by what Haason Reddick's end goal is, and now he's making weird business decisions. He's getting sued. There's no way he wins this lawsuit now also if he's intimidating a guy who made his business successful. He's completely screwed there, so he's going to lose even more money this year, especially when counting lawyer fees, all that stuff. Haason Reddick this year is going to lose more money than most people will ever make in their life. He's going to lose, now counting this, $25 million.
Yeah, so definitely just, I feel like at some point he has to make one smart decision, but then he just, every single call that he seems to make seems to be very clearly by two people who are here and are not financial experts. We can see they're the wrong decisions. So why does he think this is going to work? All he has to do to make $14.5 million is show up, would have been just to show up and play this year. And he has had double-digit sacks in like 4 years straight. He was probably going to have another double-digit sack year because the Jets have a great secondary and they would be able to, let him do his thing and go get some sacks. So it just, it was always from the beginning of this, it was obvious that something wasn't right when he was demanding the amount of money that he was demanding because it was obvious he was never worth $25 to $28 million. But the thing was, so we were saying that maybe he's trying to make up for lost time because he was underpaid earlier in his career, but there's such thing as late bloomers. Like some guys, maybe you don't get paid early, and you'll get paid later, but I don't understand why he needs so much more money than what he's going to get. He would have gotten probably in the neighborhood, definitely in the neighborhood of $20+ million on his next contract. Would have gotten probably in the neighborhood of $22 to $23.5 million. But he's just, the only thing he's not going to get is that market setting, record breaking deal, which is what he was looking for. But clearly CAA left him, his agency left him. So right now that is that's a positive voice in his corner who has left his camp. So now he's going to find someone else to have to give him more sound legal advice, more sound financial advice, because right now every decision he's making is just leading his life directly down the wrong path. And he's still going to be an NFL player by the end of this. So he's going to have all the opportunities in the world to turn it around. But every single story that comes out about this guy just seems more unbelievable than the last. Chris, do you remember the last time of an agent leaving a client like this?
No, honestly,
no, yeah, because I only did a little bit of research. I didn't do a ton of it, but I couldn't find anything about this happening. I don't remember anything like this happening. So that happens. His agent leaves him. Now he's suing someone, and then there's the whole lawsuit situation, and he is intimidating them. I don't think we said it in that quote, but the men in black gloves that showed up, they were his personal security detail. So that is just oh man, people are talking about how the Jets have dysfunction in their organization, which is true, but Haason Reddick isn't not playing because of dysfunction. He is not afraid of the dysfunction. He is the dysfunction.
Yeah, I was gonna go right there where it's like it's at the end of the day. First of all, that went hard, but also like it's not that the Jets are a dysfunctional team, and given the Jets aren't the most functional team, but it's that Haason Reddick is, like we said at the end of last video about Haason Reddick, he's just nuts. The guy's just clearly insane or something. Like he needs to stop acting like Antonio Brown, essentially. Like, this is a story you'd see about Antonio Brown 4 years ago or something like that. Not Haason Reddick. What is happening right now? I'm so lost.
Chris, a bunch of people in our comment sections are likening this situation to Antonio Brown's situation, but Antonio Brown was a multiple-time first-team All-Pro. He was an all-decade wide receiver. He was, us growing up, watching football in the 2010s, he was a top 3 receiver of that time. So Haason Reddick, like, yes, the off the field issues are on the same wavelength. It looks like they both have, unfortunately, they might both have some issues going on upstairs, but we're going to see what happens. And the only thing I am sure about in this situation is that we have not heard the end of Haason Reddick, and we have not seen the last bad decision that he's going to make in this comedy of errors that he is making.
I feel bad saying this, but I always do, and not just because we get to make YouTube videos on it, which tends to be fun, but it's almost like one of those stupid, like, TV dramas that no one likes that you're just like, I'll hate watch this or something, because it's like, it's funny. It's funny to see all the nonsense that Haason Reddick is literally putting himself through. It's not like the Jets are putting him through something. It's not like he's at odds with Joe Douglas. We showed the graphic of Woody Johnson saying, get on I-95. We'll welcome you with open arms here. Before he got fired, Saleh said the same thing. He's like, no, if Haason wants to show up, we'll welcome him with open arms. The Jets are completely fine with him. It's Haason Reddick is just going off the deep end right now, Matt.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that you see out of Blue Mountain State, not real life. So
this is some Thad Castle stuff we got going on here.
the only difference with Thad Castle is he would never do this because he has too much respect for the team and he loves football too much. That's why I didn't say Thad, but maybe Radon Randall would do something like this.
Yeah, that's more like Radon Randall, the unidentified black male. So, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Most of the videos a little less silly than this one, but sometimes you just got to hang out and talk about why Haason Reddick's an idiot. So, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, let us know what you think down below, turn on post notifications, have a great day, and go Jets. It's a retirement community.